stomach lives or dies in terms of function? Dies, doesn't work. If you choke it off, it's getting sicker. So tell me what's a common sickness in the stomach? Indigestion. What's another one? What's a common one in the stomach?
Ulcer.
Ulcer. Now you ask me a question. Doctor, I've never heard of anybody having an ulcer from this. You look at this research that we have all over, and I collect and present research. I teach around the world. This is a book I put together. It's about 550 pages of medical research supporting this. This is from the Journal of the American Medical Association. Anybody ever hear of the Journal of the American Medical Association? Right? AMA? It says right here, a scoliosis, which is a crooked spine like that, of even a slight degree, okay, of the segments corresponding to thoracic 6 through 9, seem to play a part in 90% of patients with peptic ulcer. You know what they did that study? So they said if your spine is crooked, like this, between thoracic 6 and 9, it plays a part in 90% of people with peptic ulcer. If you look at thoracic 6, which is right here, and you go down to 9, and then you follow the nerves go right to the stomach. So in JAMA, or Journal of American Medical Association, in 1958, they said if your spine is crooked, even a slight degree, there's 90% of the patients with peptic ulcers have that. And you go, well, that's an old study. What you got to understand is that there's a principle. It doesn't matter how old the principle is. How old is this? You think gravity was invented only when Newton got hit in the head with the apple? You think that all of a sudden the apples were just floating around in the air, and all of a sudden one fell out, and then we go, oh, there's gravity, now everything falls. The principle of gravity, regardless of if we knew about it or didn't know about it, eons ago, still existed. And it's what's holding us on the ground. Then we get smarter in our science, and we discover that there's a thing we'll call it gravity, and things fall at 32 feet per second squared. Oh! The fact of the matter that if there's a bone on a place in your spine that's choking off the nerves can cause a problem there. Now we go back and we'll look at the same study here. Here's one from the late 90s, a study on ulcers. These are all medical studies, not a chiropractic thing on here. And the reason I show it to you that way, so you can see that the medical profession has studied what we do and has proved it every single time. My question to you is, why didn't your doctor tell you to get a chiropractor on your healthcare team? Same old, same old. It's an economic thing. So look at this one. Studies demonstrated that an improved remission of pathology or disease in patients with duodenal ulcers. Manipulation to remove spinal dysfunction not only relieved pain, but it had a healing effect significantly better than standard drug therapy. Here's one on irritable bowel and heartburn and all this other stuff, right? This is a Scandinavian study where gastroenterologists found that 72% of patients with abdominal pain, irritable bowel, and heartburn had subluxations of the spine in the area that supplied the nerves to the abdomen. I had a little girl, 9 years old. She's now 12. She's now 13, 12 or 13. She was in the gymnastics group with my kids. These are my two girls. They were in gymnastics with them. The girl was going to have, my oldest one is the same age as the other girl that came in at 9. When they were 9 years old, the girl was going to have surgery to resect a section of her colon for this girl. My wife was at the gym. She goes, what are you talking about? She goes, well, she's got irritable bowel, the mother says. She's got irritable bowel. They're going to take part of her colon out? Yeah, she's lost 14 pounds. She refuses to eat because every time she eats, she hurts. They did every study, every scan. They couldn't find a thing wrong with her. Guess what? My wife goes, get over and see my husband. Well, what was your doctor, your husband an internist? No, he's a chiropractor. Chiropractor? She doesn't have back pain. She got irritable bowel. So my wife goes, look, vertebrae 1, vertebrae 2, nerve between them, should stack up like this. If the vertebrae's out of line, it's pinching on the nerve. Guess what's going to happen? You think the colon's going to work? What if I cut the nerve to the colon? Would it work? No. What if I just choked it off? You think how it's going to be healthier or sicker? Sicker. Why is it that people get this every time you explain it? She comes in here, her spine was twisted like this, and I showed them on the research. I says, right in here is where the nerves go that are affecting the colon. Just there for 2 weeks and the pain's gone. I had a girl from Colorado Springs, similar kind of thing. She had lost 40 pounds, young girl. They brought her up here. First adjustment I did on her, she gained 6 pounds that weekend. The mother was bringing the kid up 3-4 times a week for correction. She had a problem in her neck. It was off here, and that nerve that was off here was the one that was affecting the colon, all the way down to here. So the point I'm trying to say is that this girl had irritable bowel. How many people have irritable bowel? I had asthma. I was going to be an eye doctor. I was ready to roll at Illinois College of Optometry. I go to a chiropractor because I thought they were a back doctor. I picked up a barrel at my dad's gas station, and oh, there goes my back. Couldn't stand up straight. 22 years old, 23 years old. Go to a chiropractor. Guy goes, "You had an injury when you were born." He says, "Did they pull you out with forceps?" I go, "Yeah. I was died when I was 1 year old because I had birth trauma. Now I have research on all this stuff." Well, he goes, "You injured your neck up here, which affects your breathing." I had asthma for 22 years. My uncle's an MD. He just died not too long ago, but I used to go and get all this stuff to put down in my lung, breathing, so I could breathe. 6 months I'm working with this chiropractor, my asthma's gone. I said, "What is this? I don't understand this." I dropped out of optometry, I went to chiropractic. You know why I speak around the country? I speak to businesses, I speak to you, because let me tell you something. Those drugs kill. They kill you. The reason I tell you this with fervor and passion is because I've lived this. I know this. We just recently had a dog in here. Were you here when the dog was in here? The dog was in here, and the dog was paralyzed from the waist down. What happened? Nobody knows. The vet can't figure it out. 4 adjustments, the dog's running around. You saw the guy in here with the dog. The thing I'm trying to teach you here is a principle. Your nervous system is the most important system because it controls everything. It is what gives you life. It is what gives you health. It is what gives you the life inside the cells of your body. And all we do is we work on effects instead of working on the cause of the problem. Over here, we look at these things here. Look at this, depression. 4 medical doctors on this study. You know what they said? It is not surprising chiropractic lists depression. You know why? Because when the nerves are cut off right here at the brain stem, at the control center, right here, it's the mini-me brain, okay? All the chemicals disrupted. This is what controls your vision, your hearing, all these other things. When the first chiropractic patient had his adjustment, it was right there. Look at this one, vision and blindness, right here. This guy went to all these different doctors. In the Behavioral Journal of Optometry, if it's in here, maybe you can scan this over.